Hey folks, figure I'd just make another short video. I'm going to do a little bit more flying than this and just kind of let things go the way they go. For you guys that are wondering, this is Prepar3D version 4 64-bit, and I am flying the FSX Navy Blue Angels heavily modified F18C, which you will notice immediately looks different than the FSX Acceleration F18C. In my prior video, I've explained a lot more. In this video, we're going to focus on some carrier ops and just see how the aircraft's flying. I ended up downloading the latest version of the aircraft, which was on their forums. It's the 16.2. The version you've seen in the video prior to this one was 15.2. They're both heavily modified by myself as far as getting certain things to work. I'm not going to go into it. That's in the other video. Give it a shot. If you're a better, simmer than I am, you'll probably, have a better understanding of what needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done. But this is basically about flying. Here's the aircraft. Really a good-looking F18C in Prepar3D version 4. It's got a great squat position. It's not nose down like the Acceleration F18. And we're just going to take off and see how it's flying. So I've made some changes to a few things, and it's still a work in progress as far as being ported over and trying to get it to fly the way I want. So I've got the GPS working and the autopilot and that type of stuff working. System engine MFD is working. Moving map is fine. HUD is fine. Got a little bug here. It's always showing 48 knots. Unfortunately, the radar is not working, but there's some other features in this aircraft that make it pretty cool. So as far as clickability, it's actually 0. We can turn on anti-skid right there, and that's about all I need to do. None of the steam gauges or analog gauges are working, but that's it. Let's go ahead and get out of here. If you look at the right MFD, you'll see that the engine RPM is coming up, and I need to focus on going down the runway and scanning my gauges. Again, we're here at the Latin VFR Key West Airport. It's Payware. You can find it at Sim Market and all your other favorite third-party software. All right, let's get airborne. Oh, yeah. Used every bit of the runway on that one, so. All right. I'm using the stock sounds or the modified sounds that came with this aircraft in the download. I'm not using one of my personal favorites. And like the last set of carrier traps I was trying to do, we're going to go ahead and turn, basically 090, and then I'll set some carrier ops up. Weather is one of the custom ones that I have. Kind of like. I'll slow this down a little bit. Now this new air file that came with the 1.6.2 seems like it might be a little better than the older one I was using. My modified aircraft, this one that I had in Prepar 2.5, was so heavily modified and tweaked out that I'm not exactly sure what I had running and what I had in it. But I'm going to take a little better care with the next set of edits and make sure that I keep my changes kind of logged in and have an idea of what I'm doing to it. So didn't change the flight tuning of this one. This is pretty much running stock. So let's go ahead and set some carriers up. And page 2, we'll do crowded deck 2 and fleet, which I will like. We'll do 10 miles ahead there, and we'll go ahead and we'll get it moving. Let's go ahead. I'm going to turn out a little bit, and we'll see if we can get a vector to the carriers from the software. So again, we've got an air model, which, looking at it here, it looks absolutely beautiful. But unfortunately, in the cockpit, when you're pinning around, it's basically a clean configuration with no hard points. So, but that's just how it goes. I think it has something to do with, when they were modeling and trying to get this aircraft squared away. One of the things I noticed definitely with this air file is that you have this I don't want to say spongy movement of the stick, but the aircraft seems like it's, I don't know, reacting to input as opposed to just, you know, it's there right when you do it. You know, it's almost like maybe a null or something like that. But I have all my settings. I have very little null. Actually, I don't think I have any as far as the adjustment with the calibration of the joystick. But this ear file feels pretty nice compared to the last two that I've tried. And anyways, let's just see what happens. I'll try to get a vector for the carrier. Let's request a position. So we don't have any audio, but we are picking this up. So it's 6.11 nautical miles away. Course is 384. Position. Okay. Well, I can still see it, so it's not a big deal. But anyways, go ahead and set our altimeter. And we'll come back around. And let's see if we can land. That last video, I managed to get on the deck once, but as soon as I turned some intense weather on, that was it. It was over. So I was really struggling with it. So practice makes perfect. Yeah, aircraft feels pretty good. So don't know. Let's see if we've got some wind. Yeah, we've got. Ooh, we do have some gusts there. There was 18 showing, blowing out at 326, and now we're. Looks like a constant 10, 12 knots. So let's go ahead and keep that up, and we'll keep our airspeed up and our fuel. So 17 knots. You see that right there. Getting some good frame rate with this weather. I'm showing almost 60. Resolution's 2715 by 1527. So pretty happy with that. We've got, you know, AI aircraft, airport scenery loaded pretty high. We've got ships, vessels, small ships, and yeah. So this looks pretty good. Slow this thing down a little bit. I didn't look at the README as far as what changes have been made with the 16.2 version versus the 15.2 that I was using in the first video I made that was posted today. And I will check that out. You know, I'll check it out a little bit later. I'm sure it can't be mind-blowing changes, but we'll see what happens. So frame rate is right around 42, coming up on the carrier. The carrier looks pretty good in this sim. You guys that are wondering about AI carriers, make sure if you want to download that you get the newer version of AI carriers by, I believe it's Orion, and it uses Net Framework as opposed to a JavaScript, I guess. So I could not get the JavaScript to connect, and had to research a little bit. Eventually, I realized, oh man, I have the wrong version. And as soon as I download it and set up the Net Framework version, that was fine. It was no problem at all. All right, 275, slowing down a little bit. Make my turn in. Now that's the. That's one of the escorts right there on the stern of the aircraft carrier I'm going to land on. I'm getting a little low. Speed's not bad. Gear coming down. Tail hook coming down. You can see that right there in the cockpit. And now I should have the hook warning light. And I've got 3 green. And I make my turn in. And we'll see what's going on. 16 knots on the wind. I'm definitely getting too slow. Stay up about 225, 230. And I'm getting low, losing some altitude in that turn. But we'll see what we can do. Yeah. Give you guys a little flyby because we're not being very serious right now. Let you guys see that. Again, I'm bleeding altitude off. Yeah, well, I'm way too low. We're gonna slow down, And we're going to gain some altitude because I made that huge mistake of losing altitude and gaining speed too fast. Come on in, see what happens. Really happy that so far this aircraft seems to be working good enough as a port over for Prepar. I did not like the FSX acceleration, even with a lot of the fixes. It just, man, it went down the runway, it skidded all over the place, it was hypersensitive, it was nose heavy, it didn't look right when it was sitting on the pavement, on the tarmac. Just, anyways, you know, when I found this, and I don't know when this was released, but it was in maybe the mid-2000s. It's been out for a while. I was really impressed. You know, I need some flaps. That's what I need. I was wondering why the aircraft was acting a little squirrely. Had no flaps. That's why I'm not a pilot. So we should be good now. There we go. Nice view for you guys. There she is. Let's get back on center line. Let's see if we can go ahead and land this thing on. I'm a little slow. Not too slow, but I'm a little slow. Edge slope doesn't look bad. I don't know. The ball is flashing all kinds of colors at me. I need to slow down. Gaining too much altitude. This could be a bolter. Yeah, this could be a bolter, but maybe not. That's a trap. I knew it. Wasn't a great landing. I hit pretty hard, but let's go ahead and get that tail hook up. Green, green. We'll make our way over and get back on the launch. We'll see what happens. Okay. Clear the hook. I'm hearing something like an APU in this sound that I'm using. I definitely hear it. I need to change that so I can see where I'm going. So, all right. Alright, coming up, you guys can see that black walk over there. Let's come a little bit more. Alright, now, put brakes on. I don't know why she's jumping like that. I'm going to have to figure that out. So it's Shift I, put the launch, or Shift U, put that launch bar down. Shift I arms the cat. Go to full power. And I believe it's Shift. Yeah, there we go. All right. That's it. So that's one trap. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this now. I don't want to make this video long. But I'm going to play around with it some more. And we'll see you guys in the next video.